What's my range of movement here?
Very nice.
Yes. We need a little GoPro. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about, you can turn in your Bibles on to 2 Corinthians 5. Talk about this funny thing. It's the title is "Our Call, the Ministry of Reconciliation." You know, the thing we're all really good at, making peace. Now, from verse 18. Now all things are of God, who has reconciled us to himself through Jesus Christ, and has given us the ministry of reconciliation. That is, that God was in Christ reconciling the world to himself, not imputing their trespasses to them, and has committed to us the word of reconciliation. Now then, we are ambassadors for Christ, as though God were pleading through us. We implore you on Christ's behalf, be reconciled to God. For he made him who knew no sin to be sin for us, that we might become the righteousness of God in him. Amen. Talk about three aspects of reconciliation, all of which God is sort of trump as the trump card. Okay. So it's about forgiveness, acceptance, and honor. Amen. And I'll talk about those three topics until you get it. Okay? So all of us get it. Because all of those things are almost, you can't separate it from a godly identity. If you have a godly identity, then you function in these three things. It's very simple. Okay. So forgiveness, remember reconciliation. Okay. God gave reconciliation without forgiveness, acceptance, and honor. So forgiveness costs us, sometimes more than we're willing to pay. Yet, reconciliation by implication means that something went horribly wrong. Okay, otherwise, I would not need to be reconciled. So, you cannot separate those two. Then, and the first song, which is one of the reasons why I asked Job to play that first song that he played, it's about the story about the prodigal son. You know? I was out now, no? Yeah. Great. I was out. I'm not good for the videos. I'm not good for YouTube. Okay. So if you have any of you ever read the story of the prodigal son? Do you know what it's about?
Yes.
For those of you who are completely unschooled within the Bible, it's about this guy who had an older brother, who had a wealthy father. And he decided that this farm life really isn't for him. He wants his inheritance while his dad is still alive. So his dad was really nice. I wouldn't even think about asking my dad to pay me out my inheritance while he's still alive. He will sway me, teach me to duck. Okay. So in any case, but this dad was really nice, and he just gave his son his half of the inheritance. So the lighty went out and he caused trouble, and he was doing everything he shouldn't be doing, and sort of like most of us hanging around here. And then he ended up by the pigs. And he became so hungry that he wanted to eat some of the food of the pigs, but no one gave him anything to eat. Okay. It's quite a big thing because Jews consider pigs unclean. Okay. So from a spiritual point of view, what he's actually saying is he fell all the way. He had no more honor. He had no more. I think he had lost who he was. Because in that culture, religion is dear. It's the foundation of the culture. Okay. So in case this guy reckons, okay, what he's going to do now, he's going to get up and he reckons that his dad has a lot of servants, and all these servants have food and clothes and have a place to sleep. It's going well with him. So what he'll do is he'll go back to the dad and say, listen, Dad, I don't want to be your son. I don't deserve to be your son. Let me just work for you. Okay. Which is honorable in a way. I think the guy realized that he's sort of blown it. According to Proverbs says that a son and a servant will sort of out. I'm not going to quote any proverb now, but it comes down to this, that a son who doesn't do the father's will end up under the servant. And the servant who is loved by his master will become like a son in the house. Okay. So, in any case, this guy was willing to say, okay, fine, let me just work for you. And then the funny thing happens. When he was still on his way, what did the father do? The father noticed it. He knows this sheikh coming down the street, and he left his balcony or wherever, and came down and he met the son on the road. Which I think is quite awesome. Yes. He didn't wait for the son to speak, he just wrapped his arms around the son. Then the son gives this whole discourse of, I don't deserve to be your son, make me as a servant in your house. And while the son was speaking, the father was calling one of his other servants and tuning him to get me a better robe, get me a ring. Hey, buddy. Okay. And to go slaughter the fatted calf. Do you notice how much the father asked him about his past? Or about what he did with all the money? Did you notice, is there any mention of that? Nothing. Because the story isn't going to change the reality. The dude blew all of it. Okay? So the details are sort of irrelevant. Doesn't matter how much of it he spent on what. He blew it all. He has nothing. Now, we don't live in those cultures, but in that culture, your robe and your jewelry say a lot about it. In this culture, your jewelry says you've got money or you don't. That's basically what your jewelry says. But there, your jewelry showed your family, and it showed your status within your family. Okay. So the fact that the dad immediately dressed him, that's the thing that God does. He dresses our shame immediately. It's the first thing he did. Before anybody else saw him, he dressed his son's shame. And he put a ring on to say, this is still my son. And then he took him to the house. He didn't first parade him in his shame in front of everybody. He just said, be covered and come with me. It's quite a nice thing. When someone wrongs us, what do we do? Oh, we want them to know that they must own up, my friend. Just own up. Please, it's what you do. Really heartless sometimes, isn't it? I'll forgive you when? When what? When what? When will the person that wronged you have done enough for you to forgive him or her? When? When will the person that has really wronged you, when can they possibly repay enough for you to forgive them? Because the people that really wronged us took stuff they can never give back. It doesn't matter if you hurt someone with what you say, whether you physically wrong them. You can't unhurt the hurt. Okay, it's now done. You've now caused the hurt. So to wait for someone to fix that before you forgive is a futile effort. Your healing depends on you, no longer on the other person. It doesn't depend on that other person wanting forgiveness. It depends on you forgiving. So, it's incredibly important that we let go and we stop counting the cost when it comes to what it's going to cost me to forgive. We ask the wrong question when we do that. Does the person deserve to be forgiven? No, probably not. Will they do it again? Probably, if you give them another opportunity. They will. There's no guarantee that because you forgive, everything is fine. But there's a whole thing with relationships. Maybe one day I'll give a lecture on that, on how to place your relationships to minimize hurt in your life, and yet still love everybody like Jesus said you should. But odds are, if you're married, you're going to freak each other out from time to time. That's the way it is. It's just because both people love Jesus doesn't mean we always love each other. For those of you who aren't married yet, wait for it. Marriage and parenthood will reveal your flaws. Magnify your loss. Okay. And those that you miss, your wife will point out. Don't worry about it. And you will do the same. Okay? You will do the same with her. So it's not easy. Jesus shapes us. But that's why forgiveness is so important. You're going to see people who have good and happy relationships. Then you've met people who are excellent at forgiving, excellent at understanding, willing to accept. No? Willing to honor. It's the only way to have relationships. Perfection is not going to come around the corner. Ladies, men, those of you who wait for this perfect lady, if you find the perfect lady, they're probably not looking for you. Ladies who find the perfect guy is probably not looking for you. Okay? Because perfect people look for perfect people.
Never find them.
Okay, you're not going to find them. Okay. So, get that here. Look a little bit just on the forgiveness side of the difference between us and God. No? Because we have these criteria that people have to adhere to before we forgive them. Or the other one is, I forgive you, but now you stand the hell away from me. You know? Now sometimes that's necessary. Okay? Sometimes it is necessary. Building a wall isn't wrong in itself, especially if the relationship is dangerous. Like, you're going to forgive the people you use drugs with. You're going to forgive the people that introduced you to drugs. But please, let them stay the hell away from you. Okay? Don't become an idiot now. So I've forgiven them, let's welcome them back into my life. Don't do that. It's foolish. So forgiveness also has boundaries. But I want to show you something that God did. I'm not going to go through the whole Old Testament part of forgiveness and how it worked and everything, because that's a complicated story. But forgiveness, you see, God is just, absolutely just. He's not allowed to forgive sin. Do you know that?
Must punish it.
God is not allowed to forgive sin unless the price has been paid for it. He would violate his integrity if he forgave without price. And the only price for sin is blood. That was like that right from the beginning. When Adam and Eve sinned, what did God do? Slaughtered an animal, a goat or something. What did he do then? He dressed them in the animal skin. Okay. So he dressed them in the source of their salvation. Okay, which is the same thing that happens today with us. We accept Jesus, his blood paid the price, God forgives us and he dresses us in the righteousness of Jesus. Okay, it's the same thing that happened in Genesis 3, and God just showed that it's still happening the same way. Just once and for all. Okay, but here's the thing. God did that to make forgiveness available to everybody. And that is killing his only son. Okay? Now, those of you who have children, would you kill it for an idiot? No, we won't. Dude, I will watch someone burn, but I will not give my son to save them. I'm telling you. Because I love my son. And my son has nothing to do with why you're in your position. So he's not going to replace you. Okay. If that makes me laugh this well, so be it. Or my daughter. I won't sacrifice any one of my children for anyone else. But God does this. And he says, listen, I know that what are we looking at here? About 80% of people will actively reject who God is and the sacrifice that Jesus made. They will say they want nothing to do with it. Or they will make a mockery of it. 80%. So now we're looking at a 20% win rate, if we're lucky. Okay. I wouldn't even give myself for 100% win rate, I might have 20% win rate. Or my daughter. Hey, precious princess. But God gave Jesus full well knowing that most people will say, screw you. It's a great myth, a nice story. So instead of saying, criteria, do this, then he says, I'm going to do this so that I can forgive you.
Sure.
It's a different take on the situation. I'm going to make forgiveness available to you. So, if you don't get it, I really hope you do get it on there. That the gift of forgiveness was made available to us. Okay, and why did God do that? What were you saved from? Do you know what you're saved from? When you get Jesus? I would really like an answer, except from our Bible scholars at the back. I don't know.
Save from sin.
God will not save us from sin.
Eternal damnation.
Save us from himself. That's what God said. From himself. Okay. So God saved us from himself. Why? Because he has to, as a just God, judge sin. So and hell and stuff is just a consequence of our sin.
Amen.
We choose to go there if we end up there by the lies we live. So he saved us from himself, from his duty to judge us. It's quite a phenomenal thing. Okay. Acceptance. We come from pretty dark places. Some of us think we come from these awesome places, but having ended up in the situations we come from pretty dark places, most of us. Emotionally dark, spiritually dark. Maybe we lived the high life while we were in really dark places, but still. No one actively destroys themselves if they're in a good place. Okay. So, if you look at some stories, the woman that got caught in adultery, that Jesus just said, well, I don't judge you either, you can go. I always wonder where the guy was. Because you can't catch someone in adultery by themselves. It is just not possible. Okay. So the dude was around it somewhere. So they just take him. It's a bit of a chauvinistic society. Okay. Regardless, Jesus just excuses her. And he never excuses her sin though. Do you know that? He never says to her, it's okay what you did. He just says to her, go and sin no more. You are awesome. Stop doing this to you.
Amen.
So he accepts the person and he rejects the sin. What do we do when people offend us? What do we do when someone's lifestyle offends us? We reject them with their lifestyle, with their mistakes, with their whatever. Now, I'm definitely going to do that relationship lecture, but Jesus says, when they called him a sinner and a wine bibber and a glutton, he said to them, listen man, I didn't come for the righteous people, I came for the sinners. It's not the healthy that need the doctor, it's the sick. So he was known as a friend of sinners, which is good for people like us.
Yes.
It's really good for
Amen.
people like us. But he was separate. He was separate from sin. And I think that's a difficult skill to acquire. But it's a necessary one if you want good relationships. To accept the person, but not be okay with the sin. It's necessary for depth in any relationship. What do you think you're going to go into a relationship and it's going to be all cool? No one? At least no one is absolutely delusional. Although no one is saying, I do, you're going to get pissed off about stuff that you shouldn't be pissed off if you really thought that things were going to go wrong at some point.
Amen.
Because we have expectations. Right or wrong. How's your army line? Read you a verse, an Old Testament verse. Because we have this nonsense that God was different in the Old Testament than what it is today and stuff. You're going to hear that God, God says, when he speaks of himself, he says, I'm the same yesterday, today, and forever. First, I'm going to read you what God expects of us in honor, and he says, be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love, in honor giving preference to one another. Okay. So not honor when you honor, just honor. Honor. There's another one that says, outdoing one another in showing honor.
Sure.
If we can just get to showing honor, we can get to outdoing one another a bit later. But we can just get to honoring one another to be awesome. But to generate so much peace within our environments. In any case, here's what God says. And he was talking to his people. I don't even know what part, but I think they were still in slavery, in was their 17-year slavery thing or whatever. And at this point he still said to them, since you were precious in my sight, you have been honored. Okay, now this is to a nation that's been known for their rebellion. And God said to them, since you were precious in my sight, you have been honored, and I have loved you. Therefore I will give men for you, not men to you. It's a difference. Men for you, and people for your life.
Sure.
You must read the whole portion in Isaiah 41, the first 10 verses, 41 to 43, the first 10 verses. Where God takes ownership of his people, of which you are one. So God showed us honor, and do you know that God showed us honor right from the beginning? He did this in he gave us free choice. No? And then he gave us something else to choose other than him. How many trees were in the garden?
Hundreds.
Hundreds. Hundreds of trees. There's only one that wins the toast. Just one. There were 2 trees that they could choose between, but they could eat of any plant and any tree in the garden. But they had to choose whether they want to be clever or whether they want to be obedient. They chose being clever. They didn't think that clever. If God tells you you are like me, it's pointless to eat anything else that will make you like him. You are like him.
Amen.
They believe nonsense. They thought the more they know, the more they'll be like him. Good luck. Good luck. That's what God did there, is the sign of honor, right from the beginning. Right from the beginning. I'm not going to go on a whole tangent again why God kicked us out of the garden of Eden to begin with, but it was for our benefit. I just want to say that it really was for our benefit. But right throughout history, honors man's freedom of choice, our ability to choose. If you don't believe it, next time we get outside, watch the news. You'll see what nonsense we're getting up to. That is only because God honors our decision. He has the ability to change everything. He does. You're right. Why doesn't he? Because he is a man of honor. He said you can choose. Real life, knowledge, being. You can choose. Your decision, I'll honor it. Every day we make that same choice. Every decision we make the same choice. We just don't realize, you know. We like to blame Adam and Eve. So if Adam and Eve was Chinese, at least we would have been rid of the snake too. Nice. So, we not unfortunate. Dudes are up. God honors us deeply. He honors us on the one side with our decisions, and on the other side, he invites us in. That in spite of our ridiculous decision making, he invites us in and says, "Hey man, let me teach you how to think." Right? To rewire our minds. So, ministry of reconciliation, why is all of this important? Because if I need to show someone that Jesus reconciled me to God, they are not going to see it by my relationship. Well, they'll see it in part by my relationship with God. But they'll see the manifestation of my relationship with God here. In the people they can touch. the things they can see with their eyes.
Yes.
If they can't see it here, if you guys can't see that we have a good relationship to start, then it takes a lot of credibility away from this Jesus we talk about, doesn't it? Yeah. If we disrespect one another and tune each other and do whatever, it's like, that happens from time to time, so please forgive us when that does happen. But on the whole, I think we actually have got a decent relationship with one another.
Amen.
But if we don't, you guys won't believe what we say when we stand up here.
Amen.
If I was slapping around my wife, and I come up here and I tell you guys all about Jesus, it's like, what?
I think she'll take you.
Huh?
I think she'll take you.
I think that when I'm sleeping. She has choked now. I had to take. You can't watch UFC top 100 fights with my wife and think you're going to get away with it. Yeah. Our ability to sort out our differences reflects our relationship with God. And if we don't, it shows a shortage in our relationship with God. It shows to what degree, and this is the shortage that it shows, and I want to be clear on this. It shows to what degree we still have not accepted God's forgiveness and acceptance of us.
Sure.
Because the deeper the level of God's acceptance and love and honor towards us we have, the easier it becomes to forgive and to accept. Why? Because what you did to me doesn't matter.
Amen.
Because the one who matters has my back.
Amen.
So I don't need to scuttle for your acceptance. I don't need to be good enough for you. I don't. No? So therefore, I don't have this expectation of you. So therefore, when you do stuff, it's this quote that I tuned the other day as well. Mark Twain says, humanity, but people. Wait, I'll get there now. Something about human nature being prevalent in people. Okay, and it's just I can't remember the words. Like anyone of you remember, please? It's from our life coaching stuff. But in any case, there's a great deal of human nature in people. That was the quote. Which means, by nature, we're going to freak each other out, we're going to miss it, we're going to step on each other's toes, we're going to have selfish times, sometimes it's selfish moments, sometimes it's selfish seasons, sometimes it's just plain ugly. Okay. But we also have the ability to have the divine nature within us. And that is a choice. Human nature is a given. The divine nature is a choice. So that saying, to err is human, to forgive is divine.
Sure.
That's a common saying. But to forgive is a divine ability. We all want to be like God. People think when you want to be like God, it's all about the power and the nice stuff. Walking on water, that kind of thing. That's what we want. It's great, you can have it, never sin again. Live in absolute forgiveness, acceptance, and honor. Maybe God gives it to you before the time, but I haven't walked on water yet, so not like it's an aim. Although I must say I have tried it before. It was like unsuccessful. I'm willing to try those kind of things. Okay. Because I believe in a God that does the impossible. Because I believe in a God that, in spite of who I am, loves me. You know what the awesome thing about God is? He knows everything about you, man. He knows all the nonsense that you've caused, and He knows all the nonsense that you're still going to cause. shortfalls. All this sin that is still going to take you by surprise, He's checked it already. The Bible says He knows the end from the beginning. And still He chooses to forgive you. I don't even always like the person I am. Well, you know. I love myself, and don't get me wrong here. I love and I accept myself. But that does not mean I like my shortfalls. I will never like it. But it's a work in progress. All works in progress. And we need to give each other that space. We need to give each other that freedom. Not just the people in here. When you're going to go outside, your parents are works in progress. If you still haven't woken up from the delusion that your parents are not perfect, please do. It will save you a lot of trouble. They've got issues. Just like you. Please don't go and point it out to them. Because they can point back and then it's counterproductive altogether. I'm like this because, you're like this because of your choices. Bottom line. I found myself in a really dark place because of my decisions. So, now we can start this forgiveness, acceptance, and honor thing. We can guess where they can start. That's it. By yourself. First person you need to learn to forgive is yourself. The first person you need to learn to accept is yourself. The first person you need to learn to honor is yourself. Because when you have that for yourself, you naturally begin to have that for other people. If you can't forgive yourself, good luck forgiving other people. The idea to love someone more than you love yourself isn't really there. Jesus said, love others like you love yourself. Later he changed that a little bit to say you must love each other like God loves us, which is a whole new thing. Which is something I wrestled with for a while. But what he was saying is I cannot love beyond the limit of my love towards myself. I can only give what I have. I don't have love for myself. I cannot give it to anyone else. I can be nice and sentimental and all those things, but I cannot truly love if I don't truly love myself. I cannot forgive if I haven't forgiven myself. And once again, that all comes from accepting God's love and God's forgiveness first. Because we get that for free, and then we can give it. Freely you have received, freely give. That's in the Bible too. Are you familiar with your Bible? No. Please get familiar with it. Because you can, if you don't, you won't know how to interpret the world around you as it happens. You need to build a biblical worldview.
Amen.
Please don't think that it's old school. Please don't think that it's outdated. It's been the most read book for thousands of years because it contains timeless principles. It's timeless wisdom. The newest part of that book is about, 1,900 years old. The newest part. It's been around for a long time. I can tell you John C. Maxwell and Richard Branson's biography and all these things will be gone 300 years from now. But the principles contained in the Word of God will guide you and the generations after you. Amen. Until the end of time.
Comforting. It's comforting.
It's comforting. listen to secular leaders as well. I listen to people like Simon Sinek and those kind of things. I listen to their teachings and stuff. And they're evolutionists through and through. But all the stuff about them that makes sense, you still find it in the Word of God. All the leadership principles, and all the principles to productive living that you find in secular teaching, go read Proverbs. You'll find it there. You know, you don't even have to go beyond one book. You can just really go to Proverbs. You'll find it there. You will get these incredible insights. It's been around for at least, I think, 4,000 years. In written form. It's a new insight. Okay. Get it?
Yes.
Forgiveness, you choose to forgive, you choose to accept, and you choose to honor. Don't wait to feel it, just choose to do it. Okay. It sort of ties in a little bit with last time I teach. I spoke about forgiveness as well, but it's important. It's really important. And I think I said this the last time as well. Please don't feel the need to go run around and tune everybody that said to you, forgive them. Please just don't. Well, it is self-righteous, and on the one side, and the other side is most of those people will look at you and say, what the hell? What are you talking about? You need to forgive me, and then you start on you on me. You feel the need to tell someone you've forgiven them, but you probably haven't. Just do it. So, Father God, I just really pray, Lord, that you're stirring us this thing to be like you, man. Just this desire to walk in forgiveness, to walk in acceptance, to walk in honor, so we can restore relationships. So we can restore people to you. Thank you for giving us that opportunity to meet you, to walk with you, for that privilege. And I pray that that you help us to bring that message across truly as a privilege to other people, and not what the world has made it, this boring, redundant thing. It's such a privilege, Lord, to live in a way that is not the same. And bear such good fruit. I thank you, Lord, that this world does not define us, but your word does. In Jesus' name.